crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com. But your morning horse is your sip of chaga coffee. Yes, I am in a house. Litecoin Lisa set up a house for us down in Phoenix, Arizona. We are playing tonight in Mesa, California. Mesa, Arizona. You see, I've been on the road for a long time. I've kind of lost track of where the hell we are. But yeah, we will be at, let me get you the correct place. You can get tickets at the door, no problem. Although it might be kind of a packed house today. Dos Gringos, 1958 Greenfield Road, Mesa, Arizona. 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 6. Tickets are $25. Help us pay for the gas. Oh my God, the gas is killing us. Yeah, RVs eat up gas. We got 2 RVs and a trailer. And yeah, you want to support the cause? Come on down to Mesa, Arizona. Or if you just want to throw a little bone towards our gas, buy a ticket and watch the show. On the private road, we're going to be posting all the road shows and then highlights. And Josh is actually working on a documentary of the entire trip. Really amazing stuff. And what we talk about is freedom. Silver and cryptos are part of freedom. But the main thing is freedom. And that's what we have to fight for. That's what you don't really understand freedom until you lose it. And when you lose it, it is almost impossible to get back. You've heard the elites talking about, a new form of the sickness. Let's not fall for it again. If you lose it, you're going to lose it forever. Now is the time to stand up and say, hey, no more. By the way, if you haven't done this in a while, like and subscribe. Please subscribe to the Road to Ruta YouTube channel. We are at 98,000 subscribers. They keep taking subscribers away from me. So you might think you've subscribed to roadrunner.com, but they might have taken you out. So please hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to us. At 100,000, you get something more. You get more visibility, I guess, or something. I don't know. But I've been stuck in the 90,000s for over a year now, and that's YouTube. I try my best to play within their rules. Currently, I have no strikes, which is great. Twice I had to shut down the channel. This is the problem with censorship. With censorship, you don't have both sides of the story. You don't have any sides of the story except the side they want you to hear. They. I talk about they a lot. I wrote a song about they. I'll play they at the end of this video because I think it's so important for our country that we don't let them tell us what. The funniest thing I've ever heard, the science is settled. They were saying that about global warming or something like that. The science is settled. They said that about the jab. The science is settled. Science is never settled. That's the beauty of science. Like the beauty of the blockchain. It's immutable. You can't change it. The beauty of science is you always look for a hole. And if it is settled, you'll never find a hole. Settling science doesn't mean cutting off half the people who study it. And that's exactly what these people have done. They control us with the media. They control us with our health. They control us with our bank accounts. They control us with what we use as money. But they're not going to shut me up. I refuse to get shut up. Today we've got Ginny Moonstone. The lovely Ginny Moonstone will be in Arizona talking to the crowd about freedom. She is a freedom fighter, warrior on a spiritual level and on the ground. She's fighting for what she believes in. I think everybody should do that. Litecoin Lisa, Clint Westwood are here. Also, we'll have them up talking about financial freedom and then talking about Lisa's really into the charity stuff, and she just kicks ass at that. She's very good at it. Just the biggest heart you've ever seen. So come check us out. We're in Mesa, Arizona. And then our last show for this tour. Now, Paige, Josh, and Amy love being on the road. We're 3 weeks into it. I'm getting a little tired. It's a lot. But a little rest, maybe a couple weeks. We'll be back on the road this summer and touring different parts of the country. So keep an ear out for that. But again, please like and subscribe. I just want to run through really quick. We got a show in like 4 hours. I want to shoot through really quick some of the craziness that's going on. I love watching Zero Hedge. If you don't watch Zero Hedge every day, you're going to miss some stuff. Really smart guys. They're Wall Street guys that don't care what the censorship says because they have their own website. Just like on Road to Ruta. Although I am on YouTube, I'm trying to maintain the YouTube because there's so many people. It's such a popular venue of ways to watch video. I could go private. I could go on to Theta TV. I could go on to BitChute. There's a million others. I want to stick on YouTube to wake up as many people as possible for as long as I can. At some point, they'll kick me off. They are going to kick me off of YouTube unless I say 9/11 is just another day. That song's coming up. But here's something that really pissed me off. The CDC removes 24% of child COVID deaths, blaming coding error. Are you freaking kidding me? They did the same thing in Alameda County where I live. Decisions are made to destroy businesses because of this stuff. And the children thing, well, I'm so beyond livid. But again, we need, before I will vent and rant at the show today. I can't do that on YouTube, but I will there. And my suggestion is, before you do something to your child, understand the science, which means understands all sides of what's happening. All right, good. All right, elites suggest price controls, dystopian travel restrictions to manage soaring energy costs. They're talking about reducing speeds from 70 to 55 on highways. Why not? Well, we invented free energy over 100 years ago. That's a different part of the future. Cliff High's sci-fi future is real. It is coming, and it's coming fast. Right now, I think we're in this time where it's time to learn our lessons. I've been saying this for a long time. It's time to learn our lessons the painful way. We live in a nanny state. All of us live in a nanny state everywhere in the world because we've relied on these criminal governments to take care of us. And when they walk away or get thrown in jail or whatever happens to them, the nanny state will instantly be gone and we'll have to take care of ourselves, which is not an easy thing to do. So just beware. You need to get yourself settled so that you can survive. I know it's impossible. A lot of people say, oh, no, you got to get this amount of food and water and cryptos and silver and ammo. That all costs money. That all costs money. I mean, you can be a lot more free if you had a lot of money. And that's what sucks. But as I've said many times, there are good guys behind this game. I've been talking about the good guys long before the 17th letter of the alphabet, long before Mr. T got in office. I've been talking about it and spreading the word that you can't sit on your laurels and say, oh, no, everything's fine. There's good guys behind the scenes. You have to still fight. You got to fight for your freedom. And I don't know how bloody it'll get, but it could get bloody. I don't know. I just don't know. Our founding fathers sacrificed everything. Literally, their lives, their livelihoods, their children's livelihoods, everything to get us this country. And I am going to fight for it with everything I got. And that's what I'm doing. That's why we're out on the road. Austria to reintroduce COVID mask rules just 2 weeks after they were abolished. Again, everywhere in the world, you need to fight for your freedom. That is not freedom. Telling you what to do does not constitute freedom. You need to tell your government, you work for me, and I'm done with your bullshit. These charts show Russia's invasion choking the world of natural resources. I've been saying that for a while. This is a battle of the bankers that Russia and China is going to get into this, and it's all about taking out the deep state. So just remember that and don't listen to what they tell you on the news. Every time you hear Putin's bad, think what they did to Trump. Trump bad, red man bad, red man bad. It turned out everything that Trump was saying was actually true, that the Clintons did collude with the Russians. And why aren't they in jail yet? They wanted to impeach Trump instantly when they were doing that. Why aren't they in jail yet? And they're not. Or if they're still alive, I don't even know. But the reality is the truth has come out about that. And yet nothing has happened to these people. I mean, just think about that. They were saying a president was colluding with a foreign nuclear power. And they're saying, I mean, they could have put us into a nuclear war with their rhetoric. That's the kind of power. When you control the media, you control everything. Luckily, cooler heads prevailed. I'm not so sure they will this time. I don't know. We might need some kind of war like that to wake people up to the reality that we are not being shown the truth. And you got to find the truth. You have to fight for it and dig for it and then stand up for it. Parts of the Spanish economy grind to a halt after 5-day nationwide trucker strike. Bravo to the truckers. Keep it up. Keep it up. Fight for your freedom. Fight for anything. Fight for everything you believe in. And allow other people to do the same. You know, if you're a lefty who believes in the Biden agenda, fight for it. Absolutely. That's your right as an American. But don't shut out people out of social media for doing the same thing on the other side and all 10 sides. I scream this over and over and over again. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a libertarian. I'm not an independent. I'm an American, first and foremost. And I believe in myself even before my country. Because my soul came here for a specific purpose. I think I'm living it. I think I'm doing it feels right now. It feels like I'm doing what I came here to do. And I think everybody should do what they came here to do, but you need free will to do that. And free will, you need to fight for your free will. Italian newspaper denies disinformation despite publishing misleading front page photo. Editor-in-chief doubles down despite being caught red-handed. They don't stop. Now you could say fake news on Fox, on CNN, on all of it. MSNBC, it's all fake news. And they won't stop. That's all they have. That's the beauty of this. It's like when Rustin Benham, the head of the CFTC, said, we're going to use all our tools to tamp down the price of silver. And now we see what tools he used. They got Bank of America to lease 800 million ounces of physical silver from JP Morgan and dump it into the market over the last year. But that's over now. And they got to pay back that silver. And it's like, holy shit. Rustin Benham, the head of the CFTC, the regulator, rigged prices or assisted in the rigging of prices. He's not smart enough to do it himself, but he does take orders from his commanders. He is an evil henchman. I know he listens to this too. And it's like, Rustin, you are not going to fare well when you get out of this lifetime. You're going to look at yourself and say, holy shit, what did I do? Who did I support? What kind of cause did I sell my soul for? But that's your deal. That's your karma. All right, what else we got? West Russian sanctions could lead to many unpredictable, unpleasant outcomes. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Biden administration can't be that stupid to say nothing's going to happen if they ban all this Russian stuff coming. Russia makes up a huge part of the fertilizer industry. All these industries, natural resources, gigantic. You know how big Russia is? It's gigantic. Massive amounts of natural resources come from Russia. And that is, natural resources are the Achilles heel. Silver happens to be the best, but the Achilles heel of the banking cabal. Because they're real things. And that's what banks don't want all this money they're printing flowing into. They don't want it to flow into real things. They want it to flow into stocks and bonds and derivatives. And they want it to flow into the hands of the people they want it to flow into. They don't want it to flow into the hands of commodities because that creates inflation, which puts their system of creating money into doubt. But that's where we are. And then Biden met with Xi of China. Biden warned Xi of consequences if China materially supports Russian during call. And Xi in turn condemns the possibility of Washington's sweeping and indiscriminate sanctions. They're going to do it. This is part of the game. The end game is China and Russia. The U.S. is going to put all these sanctions on, and they're just going to walk away from the West. It's okay, fine. You don't want any of your goods made by China? Go ahead, put sanctions on. This is the dumbest thing you ever heard. But that's what they're doing. This is all being done to show us how dumb our leaders are, how manipulated we are, and how reliant and dependent we have become on other countries. So hang on tight. As Cliff said, it's never going to go back to the way it was. It's going to get crazier and worse. So take a deep breath. Hang on to it as long as you can. And then move forward with your eyes open. Question everything. You have to question everything. Question the road to Ruta. Question your silver investment. Question your gold investment. Question crypto investments. I've said for a long time, you have to have it in your possession, and you have to be willing to withstand a situation where the banks fail and everything goes to zero. Your cryptos are going to go to zero. Silver is going to go to zero. Gold is going to go to zero, but you won't be able to buy any, because when the banks go, everything goes and we start fresh. You want to hang after them. And this was a Sean at SGT Report did one of my very first interviews in 2010 or 11, I think it was. And it was called After the Crash, because all this stuff I talk about, investments and all that, can only really be allowed to be freely traded to find fair market value after the crash of the old system. Because they have to keep it going. If they don't keep it going, you've got Bank of America, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all the big banks going. You have no savings account, you have no checking account, you got no 401k, there's no stock market running, all that stuff. And those of you who have Veritasium, you saw Very jump when Reggie said, I'm going to offer discounts to his intellectual property that he has a patent on. I don't know how it will be implemented. According to Cliff High, after the crash, the U.S. government comes to Reggie Middleton and says, hey, can you implement Veritasium for our system? And all it does is take out the middleman. Turns it into a peer-to-peer transaction type of thing. So wouldn't you rather buy a stock or bond or commodity without Goldman Sachs front-running it, or Virtu Financial front-running every transaction? Wouldn't you like to just remove that middleman? That's what Reggie invented. Reggie's not out to crush cryptos. I don't even think he could. Maybe, I don't know. That would have to be determined by patent lawyers in a court case. But if the U.S. government comes to Reggie, there's instant validity of that patent that they already granted him. They don't grant patents like willy-nilly, here's a patent. You have to do it right. You have to do it thoroughly. Reggie hired the right people to do it. It was his idea. The fact that the crypto universe grew up after Reggie was silent was not Reggie's fault. They all should have been working with Reggie's IP, his intellectual property. That includes, Ethereum's questionable these days. I don't know if Ethereum's going to last. Theta has to last, or we have no internet. And they're doing all the right things. That's probably why they're not on Coinbase. I think there's going to be a big shakeup in the U.S. Who knows where it'll come out? Our government is corrupt as can be. You all know that. The regulators are corrupt. I'm on the Jeff Berwick camp that says life would be better without any regulators. Let the criminals go into the markets. People would remove themselves from the markets. As well they should. And then a fair and freely traded market would arise, and then they would participate in that. But participating in markets that have a fake regulation system so you think it's clean and you think it's fair when it's actually not, that's the worst of all worlds. So either the regulators have to come clean, which is probably impossible, or they need to implement something like Veritasium where you don't need people, you have peer-to-peer transactions, which is a beautiful thing. So yes, I am hanging on to all my Veritasium tokens. It's a whole bunch of, it's a stack of lottery tickets, and if it is true what Cliff says, that the U.S. government comes to Reggie, shit, Veritasium will blow by Bitcoin easily. Yeah. You're going to have to do your own homework on how to get it. I got mine from the original ICO. And they've already busted Reggie for that, by the way, and there's no double jeopardy. They can't screw him again. And they screwed him pretty hard. So, yeah, I hear you can get on Mercatox, but it's so illiquid, the market, that you go in there with $10,000, you're going to double the price of Veritasium because people want to hang on to it. As well they should. Anyway, a whole lot of other stuff going on in the world. I need to get ready for the show. Again, we're at 2 o'clock in Phoenix, Arizona, Mesa, actually, a place called Dos Gringos, which means I will play my No More Chips and Salsa song that I wrote. It's a classic waiter song. Anyway, again, Phoenix, Arizona, today, Saturday, the 19th of March. Jenny Moonstone will be there, like Quinn Lisa, Clint Westwood, myself, Josh and Paige, and Amy will be there. Yeah, will be spouting off about freedom and the need to fight for it. And hope all you guys agree. I'm going to leave you with the song. You guys take care.
Well, I grew up in the USA. I was taught that speech was free. Birmingham to Burning Man, you can speak any truth you see. Lately things have changed, they say I can't speak truth no more. And I'm just sitting here wondering who they are working for. See, they're gonna kick me off of YouTube. Unless I say 9/11's just another day. And they delete my friends on Facebook. Unless I pretend that socialism's a-okay. And they are gonna shadow ban my Twitter. Unless I tweet the chemtrails of Perrier. Finally they'll ban everything I've got to say as they kill free speech in the USA. They decide what's right, they decide what's wrong, they ban what won't conform. They sit in shadows, they run the gallows, say I must abide the norm. Without free speech we lose freedom, they cut off our free will. If I find truth that they don't like, they'll label me a shill. And then they're gonna kick me off of YouTube. Unless I say 9/11's just another day. And they delete my friends on Facebook. Unless I pretend that socialism's a-okay. And they are gonna shadow ban my Twitter. Unless I tweet the chemtrails of Perrier. Finally they'll ban everything I've got to say as they kill free speech in the USA. They're trying to kill free speech in the USA. Now wait a minute, it's not like me to give up on a fight. I'll expose their evil plans, bring their shadows into light. And I'll name names, I'll play their games, I've got them in my sight. They're trying to change the USA. I'll fight for what is right, so they can kick me off of YouTube. 9/11's all about building 7 and it ain't okay. And they can delete all my Facebook. But socialists fail every time in every single way. And they can shadow ban my Twitter. But I'm looking up at chemtrail skies each and every day. See, they have no right to ban anything I have to say. And I'll fight for free speech in the USA. I'm gonna fight for free speech in the USA. It's my right, free speech in the USA.